check. We not take back no check. You pep talk. Tiggity check. Hey girl, let's lay the shot. We know say why you don't want the drama. When Tyson rise up the llama, say to pray at night with your father. He got thing by him out from the corner. You, me know say you're gonna rematch on you know say you're gonna. Bad man, you run your mouth. Main event. So, Chisora, Parker. Right. This has caused a great debate. I was even been debating Caden about this. And then Caden did the fight breakdowns. Like, I'm going to go to Ned first on this one. And who did you have winning and why? How did you see the fight?
I said, if y'all tuned in on Sunday, I said Parker won. Even with the knockdown from Chisora, he tried the same tactics he had with he tried on Usyk, but it didn't work. And Parker showed that he can be an elite fighter. Like Parker is top 10, but sometimes I feel like Parker just doesn't have that killer instinct. He doesn't have the dog. He doesn't have the fighter inside of him. And when that happens, I feel it's his fights. He doesn't know when to take out lesser opponents. But with Chisora, when Chisora went for the knockdown, that knockdown wasn't really believable. It was like more Joseph Parker was a flash. He wasn't out of his element.
Flash knockdown.
Yeah, it was like he tried. Derek Chisora tried him, but after that, it was just a schooling from Joseph Parker, and I salute Joseph Parker on that win. Just Joseph, please be more gritty, be more. Go into a dark place sometimes before a fight, and then come out with that devil on your shoulder.
Yeah, he needs to come out with that prick. To me, all right. So you had how much did you have Parker winning? Like, what was if you had to score it? How many rounds ahead would you say Parker won?
I said I probably gave Chisora about 4 rounds in that fight, but Parker. Clean sweep after that.
Yeah.
First round because of that knockdown, but that knockdown it happened. You scared him. You made him fall to the ground, but that was about it. You know.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. All right, fight fans, what are you saying, Ned? You can interject anytime. It's not as disciplined as the boxing bros where
I hear you. I like to let people talk, you know.
I know.
It's like part of my nature.
Yeah, it's bad. It's a bad habit of mine, but hey, such is life. But go on, fight fans.
I'm going to annoy people. I had Parker winning the fight. I watched it again.
Yeah.
And I think that people are scoring Chisora's fights based on the excitement he brings them while he's fighting. Like, yeah, it's exciting what he does. And it was exciting for the 4 rounds that he had energy to do it. And then after that, he got soundly handled and Parker took the round. I mean, he got 1 more. I got it 7-5. It's I just don't think what he does is very effective with all the losses. It doesn't look good. But it's exciting and fun to watch. Yeah, fun to watch. But to score it, I would not say he won it. And the worst thing is, because everyone thinks he won, he's going to get another damn pay-per-view for the same damn fight. And we're going to have to put up with all of this again.
Well, and another 2 million.
Leon, you didn't even do the first one. You weren't in that pay-per-view game.
I watched it for free on YouTube the next day. I just wasn't going to pay it. No, I saw something about, as I said, if you didn't have Chisora and Parker on that card, there would have been enough money for that to have been a Saturday night fight, and that would have been a great Saturday night fight card. A great Saturday night fight card, and all the people on there would have got loads of exposure. I don't think they needed to do that just to give Chisora and Parker a pay-per-view. If they were going to give them a pay-per-view, they should have had more 50-50 fights. A lot of those fights, you knew who was going to win. The only meaningful competitive bout was Taylor Jonas. And Parker Chisora was competitive, but competitive because Chisora's had loads of losses and Parker's hasn't boxed to any decent standards since the Dillian White loss. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a competitive bout on high level skill. it was like a downward sliding competitive bounce, and Chisora was coming off of a loss. It was just, I just didn't get it. I did not get the excitement around it. I got the names on the card. I got it sounded exciting. When you looked at it, they weren't competitive and meaningful fights. The only one was the Taylor and Jonas fight, which was a great fight. So if you were taking the headliners off, put it on a Saturday night, absolutely great. Look,
all day long. All day long.
But to add Parker and Thing in and charge us to watch that, the non-competitive bouts, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my thoughts on the matter is, okay, Chisora won. Chisora won by 2 rounds, 115, 113. Chisora won. I did the rewatch bit of the first round when Caden broke it down, and I've come to the realization that Chisora didn't actually win.
Hold up, you were rooting for Chisora this fight? That fight?
Oh, no, I actually predicted Parker to win by points, by unanimous decision. Yeah, that's what I predicted. So I was quite shocked when I saw how Chisora was going. But yeah, no, I predicted Parker to win. But in my opinion, Chisora won. That's just my opinion. Round 1, yeah, I could see the argument that, all right, to me, you can't say it was a flash knockdown. It wasn't a flash knockdown. It was a knockdown. He got knocked down.
Was he buzzed?
It doesn't matter. That's not
a flash knockdown at the start of a round like that is more than likely. It could be he didn't warm up enough.
Doesn't matter.
The time and the time got to him.
Won that. We don't care what the reasons is.
But that's the reality of boxing. That's the reality of boxing.
He got knocked down. He got knocked down. We don't care why. We just know it happened.
We agree. I agree with that.
It's a flash knockdown.
Yeah, he got knocked down, Ned.
He got knocked down. I agree. The knockdown wasn't believable. It was like, oh, he won the fight after that.
No, it's to me. That could be all right because Chisora didn't. If Chisora didn't win the round after that, you could score it as a 10-9 round. I'm not mad at people that scored it as still a 10-8 round. You know, I'm not mad at it. Like Chisora still went on. Like, all right, they was in clinches a lot. Clinch punches don't count for point scoring, but Chisora's body blows were aplenty. They were aplenty and they were point scoring. But also, I'll give it to Parker more than I did before, is that he was hitting with the jabs and it was so nippy at times. I guess because I was doing live commentary on another channel and watching it, sometimes I'd miss the nippy point scores that
Parker had cleaner work, a lot cleaner than Chisora. Chisora just walks forward. And most of the time he's walking forward. He might be wearing punches on his gloves or his forearms, but he wasn't throwing nothing back. So for me, Chisora, if anything, Chisora, in my eyes, probably won the first 5 rounds. The last 7 was Parker, without a shadow of a doubt. So that's the way I looked at the fight, because I think Chisora after 5 was just surviving. He was walking because that's in him. That's what he's about.
You know, he always flags out at about, like 5 rounds, 5 to 7. But I actually still saw it. I still got him winning. Sorry, I still got him winning. Like, I would have been comfy if it was a draw. But I already said it while I was live on the air. I was like, he's going to get robbed. He's going to get robbed. It doesn't matter if it's in the UK. They're not going to go for Chisora because he doesn't fit the mold as a 37-year-old, high-paid kind of like journeyman that's on a 10-win, 10-loss streak. It doesn't versus next world champion that's beaten a lot of the best and then got beat by a couple of the best, as in Dillian White, as in Anthony Joshua, 29 years old.
So you really believe that the judges are going to go with that opinion you've got? The judges are going to sit there and think,
Why
well, I'm not going to score him because I think he's a journeyman. I'm not going to score him because he's 37. I'm not going to score him. Nah, I'm sorry. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, I do.
I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, I do. It doesn't matter if you agree. I just know that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying because you know boxing, Andy, has politics and politics.
Of course, boxing has politics, but I don't think all of them judges are going to have that point of view.
One judge had it 116 to what? What was it? 116 to what was the outlandish? Was it 116 to 110? Ridiculous.
110, I think it was. Yeah.
And the judge was from New Zealand. So yes, they do score unfairly.
But Shan,
I mean, Chisora didn't lose a step after that knock. He lost plenty of steps after that knockdown. And he showed you he wasn't as aggressive as you thought he was. Like the first round was good, the second he just kept digressing, and then you saw Joseph Parker really just take over and dominate him. So there was. I would say there was a couple rounds. I think there was a round where I scored it a 10-10 round, but to me, Chisora won. I'll rewatch for the sake of sanity on this topic. But even if it was a draw, Andy, would you have been good with it if it was a draw?
For me, it was a very close fight, and I think at the start of the fight, Chisora probably cleaned up most of the rounds. The later stage of the fight, I think Parker done the more. Would I say devastating work? No, more eye-catching, the more point-scoring work. Chisora just walked forward. He walked and he walked. And I think he was trying to wear Parker down, but that's not going to score you points.
Well, Parker got it wrong in the beginning because Parker thought, let me trade. Because I said, you can't trade with Derek Chisora.
No, you can't. You can't. Jamie was in Chisora's camp for this fight, and Chisora, through the sparring, they used Jamie's only a cruiserweight, but Jamie is light, sharp. He's got a really good jab on him, and I think he's probably the closest thing to Parker that they had there. But they had proper heavyweights, and Derek was going for 8 rounds with these boys, and they weren't playing. Believe me, they weren't playing at all. And I think if Parker didn't have the foot movement he did have, if he had maybe 15-20% less, I think Parker would have been in a lot of trouble. Because I saw Derek doing things in sparring in them 8 rounds, and it was like, wow. He was going, absolutely going. And, that's the way his camp was. So the first 8 rounds, I expected Chisora to just walk him down and just tear him apart. But he kind of done it for 4, maybe 5. Then after that, I just thought he blew out. He ran out of gas.
Yeah, but even when they're running out of gas, he still nicked, in my opinion. He when people say he ran out, he usually runs out of gas, but I think this performance was better than the performance he did with Usyk.
Yeah. With Usyk, he didn't cut the ring down enough. You can't chase someone who's good with footwork. You have to cut the ring down, not chase. And he chased him, and he hasn't got the engine for that. Where with Parker, he was a lot more calculated with Parker in that fight.
Parker changed his game plan, though. Parker did what I initially predicted Parker to do to win the fight, was to dance and to, point score and move on the outside. It's the only way you're going to beat Derek Chisora being a Parker. In my opinion, Parker's looked trash for the last few fights now. I'm over Parker. Sorry, Parker. I know you may see this. No disrespect here, but I don't keep my opinions on the fence because just in case I want to interview a fighter. This is what it is. He just hasn't looked good. He ain't looked good.
Parker hasn't got the grit, and my American cousin said exactly the same 15 minutes ago. If you're going to be on that world stage, you got to bring everything to that stage. Yeah, don't do your camp and don't go through all the stuff you go through in life to be a boxer. Get on the stage and then do flip all. I don't get it.
And I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Get out of here, Parker. I'm bored. It's a snooze fest. I'd rather pay my money, pay-per-view, no matter what fight fan figure says, to watch Chisora effectively probably lose, but with the entertainment.
I bought the Usyk one. I bought the Usyk one.
Parker win, because it's boring. Watching Parker win is boring. Watching Derek Chisora lose is exciting.
This is why I don't
How much is that?
But this is why I disagree with what Lisa said, that it's a business thing because there's money in Parker.
Bruv, it is.
Parker's
Not
exciting. Parker's not exciting to watch. But he's not exciting to watch.
He's a snooze fest, mate. And in my opinion, I'm out. Hey, girl, it's Lady Shot. Red nonetheless, straight from the Sun Cycle Farm.